all worked out? It's that time of year again where we decide to analyze absolutely everything that we did throughout the year, question whether or not we did enough, sad that we didn't make progress on the goals that we thought we were going to do. That vision board that you made last December, you haven't even looked at it since then. You might feel discouraged or upset or annoyed or irritated with yourself because once again, you made plans and you didn't execute them. But what if it all worked out? But I'm gonna diamond paint while we have a little chit chat about this time of year and how you can make the most of the next 4 weeks instead of just twiddling your thumbs and being upset with yourself for not doing enough. Now let me get situated first. I need to figure out what letter I'm gonna do right now. Let's do V. V13. There are still 4 weeks left in 2024, okay? And I just posted a like 2-part how to glow up in these next 4 weeks and kind of just really reset this next month so that you can make the most out of 2025. And I know that you're probably going to be consumed with all of this content about setting yourself up for success for 2025. But the biggest thing is that you have to decide, like, what do you actually want? What do you truly care about? If you've been having like the same resolution every single January for the last 5 years, one, is that really something that you want? If you haven't accomplished it yet, there might be so many factors in the fact that you haven't accomplished it yet, which is fine. But instead of having that same resolution, can you break it into smaller parts? Can you get to the first step instead of step 50? Because I feel like what we like to do is that come January 1st, we all want to snap our fingers and become a completely different person. And that is not possible. Like, you can't just snap your fingers and become somebody else. It is a slow daily process. And that is what I talk about a lot on my channel, is how daily habits and routines are these small itty bitty things that you can control. And those things are going to add up, accumulate, and become your life. There's a quote from One Tree Hill that I think Nathan Scott says about, I don't know the exact quote, but it's something to do with someday is today. I'm gonna find it. This one. It's the oldest story in the world. One day you're 17 and planning for someday, and then quietly, without you ever really noticing, someday is today, and that someday is yesterday, and this is your life, Nathan Scott. So essentially, it just means that when we are young, we want so many things and we strive for so many things. And I just turned 30 last week, and this was the first year where I felt so just content with my birthday. Normally I'm like freaking out and analyzing about what I did and what I didn't do and not hitting certain milestones and feeling behind or that I'm lacking things. But my 30th birthday, I went to the spa, I had family dinner, like it was so low-key and chill and relaxing. And it made me realize that like, it's because I'm living in the moment. It's because I know for a fact that all of the wants and all the dreams that I have are going to become a reality because me, this version of me right now, who I am right now, is taking action. It might be minor, it might be so small, it might not seem like that grand of something, but I'm still taking action. And that's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of what we get to do. And it can be super overwhelming when you either want to change your entire life. Like, let's say you hate your job right now and you just want to quit and try something new. The one thing that you want to do is remove the discomfort that is your job, the thing that's causing you all of this turmoil and all of this stuff that you just don't want to deal with, whether it's customer service or an irritating boss or drama within your coworkers, whatever it may be. You want to just quit and run away. And that might not be possible. You're going to need your job if you have certain income goals or you're stuck, right? And then that feeling of being stuck sucks. And so the biggest thing that you get to do is make a plan. So if you truly want to change careers or start on a different path, it all comes from planning and knowing what step you want to take. Can we move your tail? Comes down to making that plan. And the biggest thing is that you might be like, well, I've tried making a plan. And that's the problem, is that making plans is so easy. You can make a list, you can make a Notion dashboard. You can sit while you're scrolling TikTok and watching all of these people who either show their weight loss journey or show their business, and like the Shopify notifications come in and they are selling all of their stuff. And you're like, oh, I really wish I was that person. I really wish I could do it. You can. You have to get out of the frame of mind or shift your perspective that you have what it takes. What if it all works out? Ask yourself that each morning. What if it all works out? Take away the pressure, take away the need to find all of the answers, and just trust that what you are doing will work out. And I also think when it comes to our vision boards, you want it to happen right away, right? And you might want it to happen within the year, but some things might take 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. And it's kind of getting out of this time frame of knowing that like, hey, I can set intentions for the year, but it's not something that like by December 31st, I need to hit this, and this. You can have goalposts and guidelines and milestones, or watch yourself progress year after year after year. If you right now did a look back at where you were 5 years ago, who was that person? What were their thought patterns? And where are you now? Now imagine where you could be in the next 5 years. Because the thing is that life is irritating and annoying, and you might crave certain things and you don't know how to get them. Only thing that you truly have control over is your now, is your present. How do you feel in the moment? How do you react to certain things? And it's you want to control it all, right? You want to be able to say like, okay, so I'm making a game plan. I'm going to be so specific and detailed that I'm going to stick with this plan no matter what. And then you realize that January 1st comes around and you haven't actually done any of the inner work. That's why my video on like your internal glow up is so important, or my 7-day mindset glow up that I posted like earlier this year. It's because our internal thought processes, how we view things that we want, whether it's your goal body or a relationship or a career, how you view that, what you believe you are worth, kind of just dictates how you show up. You might do something really, really, really well for a week or 2 or 4 weeks, and then you revert back into old patterns because you haven't really dove into the internal, into how you can like, okay, wait, I don't actually have to do things in a specific order or a specific way or how somebody else did it. You can choose your own path. And that comes from believing in what you can accomplish. I talked about this in my last year glow up video about your upper limit. Your upper limit is basically what you believe you're worth when it comes to any area of your life. You can look at, let's say, relationships, or you can say your career. You might think that you are only worth an entry-level position. Like maybe someone's going to find out that you're a fraud and you actually don't know what you're doing on your career path, and they're going to call you out. And that's because somewhere along the line, whether it was in your childhood or in your teen years, or somebody made fun of you for something and you internalized that and were like, okay, well, I can't follow that career path. And it's reworking those thought patterns. And that is so difficult. That is so difficult. But I want you to ask yourself once again, what if it all works out? And if me saying that right now, if you're saying that to yourself, and like just like think about one of your biggest goals. So for me, that's becoming an author, like actually publishing the novel that I've been working on for years. And the thing is, I started draft 3 and I'm going to publish that book. That I am now an author. Like that is going to be accomplished. I can see it now. But 2 years ago, Marissa was ready to give up on that book and just start new, being like, I can't figure it out. I don't have the like discipline to sit down and write. And I was so angry at myself. And then in May of 2023, I sat down and I started writing what is this version of that novel. And I'm there. And so when I say, what if it all works out? Do you tense up and feel like, oh, I'm not worthy of that. I can't accomplish that. It's not going to work out. Worst case scenario thinking. Honestly, here, actually, this was the first affirmation that actually worked out for me. And I had to probably write it down for maybe a year and a half before I actually started realizing that I could, that this affirmation was helping me shift my perspective. And that affirmation was, I am worthy of the best case scenario working out. Because my whole life, I always just felt like I didn't have enough, or it wasn't going to work out, or the worst thing was going to happen. And I was able to reframe that, which is actually crazy to think about. See, man, these chats are great. I haven't thought about that affirmation in a while, you know? My phone is going off, but it's across the room. I don't really want to go get it, but I feel like I have to, because like then my anxiety is going to be like, someone's dead. And so during the next 4 weeks, what I want you to do, here's the game plan. If you want to actually set yourself up for success, week 1, I want you to just analyze, write it down, journal, ask yourself all of these questions. What do you want out of your career, your relationships, your thought patterns, your finances? Just like dive into different avenues of your life and ask yourself, like, what am I worth? Am I worthy of $100,000 a year? Am I worthy of a thoughtful, loving relationship? And truly just dive into what you want. Week number 2 is going to be daily habits. So what I want you to do is fill out the daily habit reset, which essentially is just reviewing what you normally do. What's your baseline? What are your normal habits right now? What habits do you want to implement? And then how can you start adding those habits into your current week? So if you are wanting to like hit a step goal, for instance, and right now you're only doing 3,000 steps a day, maybe your small goal that you're going to do for the next week is 5,000 steps. It's not anything major, but it is more than what you've done. So you have to be conscious about it. You have to be like, okay, I got to go for like an extra 10-minute walk every single day to hit that new goal. And it's just small itty bitty things like that, because if you maintained that 5,000 step goal for a month, the next month maybe you hit 7, the month after that maybe you hit 8. And you can slowly just start building up these small things into your bigger goals. So that's week 2. Week 3, and technically week 3 is going to be a week before the holidays, so if you are doing a bunch of stuff during that week, that's fine. Week 3 is going to be analyzing those habits. So when you made that list, when you made the things that you wanted to accomplish, that you feel like would make you become that best version of yourself, or that new version of yourself that you want to be, did you actually stick to them, or is there still something blocking you? When you made that list of like, okay, I'm going to do 10,000 steps, I'm going to read for 10 minutes, I'm going to journal every morning, I'm going to go to the gym first thing, did you? Be honest. Because what normally happens is that you bite off more than you can chew. You want to change everything all at once. You want to do it all right now. But that is not going to help you in the long run at all. Because you're going to want to do everything all at once. You're going to miss one thing and you're going to quit everything, instead of taking small itty bitty steps. And so once you analyze, you set your daily habits, you review those habits, the last thing is to accept the process, accept the setbacks, accept that you are going to achieve what you want to, but it's going to be on a different timeline. You can't control everything. You can't. You can't control the outcome. You can only control your actions. I'll use me as an example. So if you want to become an author, the only thing you can control is writing the book, is editing the book, is learning as much as you can about the book industry. But if you avoid doing those steps, if you avoid writing, you avoid editing, you avoid researching and learning, you're never going to hit that goal. So reframe what you want to accomplish in 2025 while you're setting a vision board and doing all of those things with your daily actions. I made a vision board for every single month of this year, except for January. I didn't do it in January because I always feel weird in January. Like there's usually like an energy, but then sometimes I feel like I just need to cocoon and not do anything in January. And it is the middle of winter and my seasonal depression is probably at an all-time high. Yeah, okay, fine. As I looked at my the beginning of the year vision boards compared to my end of the year vision boards, like my November and December ones, and I realized that I slowly started integrating in my vision boards things that I had already accomplished. So photos of things that I had in my camera roll with things that I wanted to accomplish, because it felt more obtainable. I understand that vision boards should technically be these like big grand dreams, and you can do one like that, but I also think if you do monthly vision boards, which I had a blast doing these vision boards each month, it was kind of a fun like reset routine for me. I realized that I wanted them to be tangible, like a picture of a candle, and it's like I could go buy that candle, like I can go make that candle and that vibe in my home right now. The trees, like the autumn vibes that we have outside, and I literally took a picture, like the same picture that was on my vision board, I took it outside because it's like there were a pile of leaves and I could just stand in it and like it was a cute little photo. And I felt like it was more obtainable. Everything on all of those vision boards, which I can put here, are going to become a reality. Like they are parts of my present and future, because I want them to come to fruition. But anyways, I'm gonna leave you with this. What if it all works out? If you like this kind of video, please hit like, you can subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye. Life's so good. Okay, bye.